Today on Rock the Park.
Now I know why they call it the climbing route.
Wow!
We're going up an active volcano.
Look it's still steaming.
And down into tunnels carved by flowing lava.
Nice.
And through uncharted wilderness in search of a spectacular sight few people ever see.
Oh man, that's huge. It's incredible.
This is Mount St. Helens, and it all starts right now.
I'm Jack Stewart.
And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it. Just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
there's no telling what will happen next.
Get set to rock the park.
We're in the Pacific Northwest on the slopes of the most deadly volcano in the United States.
In 1980, this thing erupted for over 9 hours, shooting ash 80,000 feet up into the air.
We're here to dig into the explosive past, present, and future of this still very active volcano.
Welcome to Mount St. Helens.
In 1980, Mount St. Helens was the site of the most destructive and deadly volcanic eruption ever recorded in North America. The blast killed 57 people, destroyed 200 homes and 230 square miles of forest. It also sent a cloud of ash 12 miles into the air.
Mount St. Helens is in the state of Washington, about 100 miles south of Seattle, and is surrounded by the Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument and the much larger Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. We're going to explore both. Every volcano shapes the landscape it's in. We're heading 8 miles south of the summit to dive into the volcano's explosive past. So we're on our way to check out Ape Cave, which is actually a lava tube.
We always think about the 1980 eruption, but it has erupted plenty in the past, and so these lava tubes have actually been around for thousands of years.
Ape Cave got its name in the 1950s when it was explored by a Boy Scout troop called the Apes in honor of the local Bigfoot legend.
Let's go. Boy, into the dark.
Ooh, into the cold.
Ape Cave is the longest lava tube in the continental US. Picture a tunnel 2 miles long formed by molten lava flowing from an eruption at Mount St. Helens 2,000 years ago. Over time, a hard crust formed on top, leaving behind a tube-like cave.
Imagine this flowing river of superheated lava taking out everything in its path.
Right now, we're in the lower cave, which is famous for a couple of unique features that illustrate the power of a lava flow, like this one.
Ah, the railroad tracks.
Yeah!
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! This looks just like it.
Yeah, it does.
Well, first of all, okay, you got the rails here, but this looks like one of those train tunnels. So what I think this is another lava tube inside of here.
That at one point must have collapsed and flattened out and created a nice little walkway for us.
I know, it's kind of cool when things look like what their name is, and this totally looks like train tracks. As the molten lava flowed through here, it shook loose chunks of older lava that had hardened up above. And that brings us to the most famous feature of the lower cave.
Oh.
Whoa!
And there's your meatball.
It's a meatball!
The meatball is a lava rock that was carried along until it got wedged in this narrow spot in the ceiling above the tube.
That's so cool.
Seems like it's just a rock that got stuck, but it's full-on glued to both sides.
Man, if this thing was a real meatball, I could have leftovers on that thing for like weeks.
Weeks? You'd have leftovers on that thing for years. Goodbye, meatball. I am hungry, I will say that.
We retrace our steps, and just above the entrance where we came in, the tube takes a sharp turn upward and widens into a cavern. From here, the upper passage climbs almost 400 feet over the course of 1.5 miles. It's slow going.
Oh man, look at this.
This is all debris that has come down at some point.
Yeah.
Because you can see it wouldn't have hardened like this.
The debris was created when the lava walls and ceiling cracked and collapsed as they started to cool.
Looks like we got a little bit of lava fall here.
Here, the lava hardened into an 8-foot-high wall.
Thank you.
At least the Forest Service installed a climbing rope. As we near the upper end of the tube, things start to get brighter.
Oh, wow. I thought I saw something. It didn't look like my headlamp, that's for sure.
No, not at all. That's our skylight. Oh man, look at how beautiful that is.
The so-called skylight was created when cooling lava cracked and collapsed, this time creating a window to the outside world.
It's amazing that even that little bit of light is enough to make things come to life here. So we're seeing some nice moss and ferns on the walls of the cave.
The beautiful lush greenery on top of the lava rock.
It's pretty perfect, man.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
And just like that, it's summer again.
Yeah, it's bright.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was great.
Sweet. I gotta say, that was way cooler than I thought a lava tube could ever be, and it was way longer than I thought it was gonna be.
It just felt big. I mean, the moment you walk into that thing, you can feel that force of the volcano itself. It's a weird feeling, you know it?
All right, to camp?
Yes, to camp.
Tomorrow, we'll go deep into the forest, looking for a landmark that's supposed to be amazing to see, but extremely difficult to find.
Right now, I know that Jack is not confident, but I know that I am on the right course, okay? I know it.
Not that I don't believe the guy, but something seems a little fishy.
Whoa. Whoa.
We're in Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, about to check out a chunk of the Mount St. Helens landscape left virtually untouched by the 1980 eruption.
Rush Creek Falls is gonna be a great little bushwhack today. We're gonna be going through some vegetation and see that greenery that the Pacific Northwest is really known for.
It's supposed to be incredibly beautiful. It's just kind of hard to get to.
Most people haven't heard of it, much less seen it. Getting there will require a GPS and a lot of bushwhacking through thick underbrush. I found the falls on a map and plotted our course for getting to it. It starts where the road ends.
Smell that?
Oh yeah.
Smell the forest.
It's about 3 miles from here to the falls. There are no maintained trails, no signage, just wilderness.
Just kind of have to be ready for anything. I know how to get there, so to speak, meaning I have the GPS coordinates. Other than that, your guess is as good as mine and what we may encounter along the way.
Lock the car up.
And then we head that away.
Alder trees thrive in the cool, damp Pacific Northwest, and it's slow going because the saplings grow so close together.
Gosh, dang it!
On most of our trips, I'm the planner who chooses the route. This time, Colton's taking a turn.
For a route like this that doesn't have a trail leading to your destination, you really gotta rely on coordinates. This thing is gonna be our map, our compass, basically our everything.
I've got the coordinates, but I guess for Jack, old habits die hard.
I don't know why he's leading. He has no idea where we're going.
All right, it's lesson time. A leader leads. You just lead.
Then follow me.
Okay,
You're
there
gonna
you go.
Get yourself lost out here.
A leader leads.
It's such a dad tongue.
As we make our way through the national forest, we're looking for one of the best known and most at-risk residents, the northern spotted owl. It's listed as a threatened species because of habitat loss and competition from other owls. There are only 500 pairs of northern spotted owls left in the entire state. They nest in the tops of trees where they keep watch for mice and other small forest creatures. But here's something from a much larger inhabitant of the forest.
Elk?
Wow.
The Roosevelt elk lives on the western slopes of the Coastal and Cascade mountain ranges. They've got the largest antlers among the 4 species of American elk, up to 4 feet long, but they shed their antlers in early winter, which must have been when this one passed away.
We've covered about 1.5 miles. I just hope we're going in the right direction.
Okay. North.
Straight this way?
Straight that way.
Okay,
Yep.
follow you.
Okay. See, now you're getting it.
The alder saplings are getting thicker, and blazing a trail is getting a lot harder.
Bushwhacking. What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Whack some bushes?
Yep.
So wait, we're supposed to be going this way?
Yeah, we want to cut more this way. This is the right way.
Okay.
I'm confident. Sorta.
All right, following you.
You follow old Colton. He knows the way.
Okay, not that I don't believe the guy. I do. He's got a GPS, but something seems a little fishy.
Right now, I know that Jack is not confident, but I know that I am on the right course.
Oh, whoa!
I know it.
I can definitely hear something that sounds like running water.
That is the creek. There she is. I told you. I knew I'd find it.
I knew you would
Yes!
too, man. I had total confidence in
No, you didn't, and you know it.
Yeah! All right. Oh man, that's huge.
The falls drop 200 feet. The spray jets hundreds of feet in the air, making it possible for mosses to grow in the canyon walls around the falls. It's so fitting to be in the Pacific Northwest, checking out one of these amazing waterfalls in the Cascade Mountains, surrounded by lush green pines and ferns and green moss. It's hard to describe, man.
If you said to me, show me a picture of the most beautiful waterfall you've ever seen, this is what you'd draw.
There's no trail to get here, and it makes you work really, really hard. But when you do, this is what you're left with. Today's hike was more than we bargained for. But tomorrow, we face our biggest challenge yet. Up the side of Mount St. Helens to the rim of the crater.
Now I know why they call it the climbing route. Ooh.
It's just after sunup on Mount St. Helens, and we're beginning our ascent on the southern slope up to the crater of the still active volcano.
So it's a beautiful morning in the forest, and we're on a trail now for about 2 miles until we break out of the timberline. And that's where we're gonna get on the climber's route, and things are gonna start to get real quickly.
Instead of this nice, cushy trail, we're gonna be walking on rock, on ash, and who knows what else. Got a little friendie in the woods. There's 2 of them, just grazing in the peaceful morning.
These are black-tailed deer. They're a little smaller than white-tailed deer, and where whitetails are built for sprinting across open country, blacktails get through thick brush by hopping. They can cover 25 feet in one jump.
Honestly, I wasn't really expecting to see much wildlife. And once we break out of the timberline, we won't. So the fact that we get to see deer right here at the beginning of the trail is a nice treat.
All right, shall we?
Yep.
This side of Mount St. Helens didn't suffer nearly as much damage as the opposite side. The 1980 eruption exploded out of the north slope. Within seconds, super hot volcanic gases and flying rock wiped out everything within 8 miles. The shockwaves and heat fanned out and devastated 230 square miles. 40 years later, the blast area is still recovering.
Honestly, I cannot believe we are hiking up to the top of Mount St. Helens. Such a disastrous mountain. And right now, we're gonna be hiking up to the spot where this thing erupts, and it's a still active volcano.
Once we get above the timberline, we'll start to see more signs of the eruption. We'll also have to start working harder.
All right, we are on Monitor Ridge.
Now we go up.
Monitor Ridge rises about 3,500 feet above the tree line, getting steeper as it gets higher.
So climbing up Monitor Ridge, there really isn't a trail. So we're using these guys to help guide us. And they're positioned nice and close together in case weather rolls in. You can always have one of them in sight.
From here, we've got another 3,600 feet to go up. And some of it's gonna be like this, some of it's gonna get a little steeper, but one thing's for sure, it's not gonna be easy.
No, but as always, the higher we get, the better the view.
Exactly. Oh man.
Right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting pumped.
I
I'm
know.
getting real pumped.
This is great. And we're not even close to the top.
These boulders we're scrambling over are fragments of the volcanic explosion, blown sky high and then falling in heaps below the summit.
Now I know why they call it the climbing route.
Tucked away in this wild, rocky wilderness, there are dozens of high-tech looking gadgets like this one.
Looks like we got a seismic station.
Uh-huh.
Now these things monitor the seismic activity that goes on here at Mount St. Helens, and there's a lot of it. So this is one of the most wired volcanoes on Earth.
These things help volcanologists and scientists determine when the next eruption might occur. Even this last spring, they felt hundreds of tiny earthquakes, basically right where we're standing. So this thing is alive and it's cooking up something. It's just a matter of when it's gonna let loose. Not today though, not today.
As we get closer to the summit, we emerge from heaps of boulders to a moonscape of scattered rocks and thick gray volcanic ash. There's also snow, reminding us we're at an altitude where it's cool enough for snow to last all year round, and where breathing gets tougher because the air is thinner.
Ooh, Mount Adams, it's looking pretty awesome.
Look at how the clouds are just clinging to the top of it. You forget how high up we are right now, but your lungs remind you that we're probably above 7,000 feet. The crater itself is about 8,300. You can feel that altitude for sure.
We're within sight of the summit and a look down inside the crater, but the last 1,000 feet are often the hardest.
Every step feels like you're taking 4. Whoa, I'm starting to see it.
Moment of truth.
Wow.
We've almost reached the ash-covered summit of Mount St. Helens, which is actually the rim of this still active volcano.
This is the type of stuff where you stick your foot down, it sinks in, and about every step feels like you're taking 4.
Volcanic ash is a mix of disintegrated stone and lava dust that shoots straight into the air during an eruption. Some of the ash from this eruption drifted as far as Colorado, Oklahoma, and Minnesota.
Whoa, I'm starting to see it.
Moment of truth.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, look it. It's still steaming.
Where?
Look at the core.
Oh my gosh.
Steam is still rising out of the volcano.
This is pretty outrageous.
Looking down into this crater is like looking into a beautiful but broken bowl. The eruption took 1,300 feet off the top of Mount St. Helens, blowing off a big chunk of the mountain.
And now you can see how the north side of this mountain was absolutely annihilated.
A lot of times we think about nature kind of evolving slowly over time, but this mountain, in almost an instant, changed its complete shape.
To give you an idea of how powerful that eruption was, within minutes, there was a cloud that rose 80,000 feet into the air. 80,000 feet, I can't even fathom that.
And right down there is Crater Glacier, which is actually the only glacier in the entire continental United States that is growing.
And it's only been there since 1980.
Absolutely crazy. Now, you want to take a walk on the rim?
Yeah,
All
let's do
right.
it.
Once we tear our eyes away from looking down into the crater, the view looking out is just as spectacular.
From here, we now can see Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, and Mount Hood, 4 enormous volcanoes of the Cascade Range in this perfect little diamond.
We got to hit 3 extreme environments when we were here. We were inside of a cave, then bushwhacking through some of the most dense forest I've ever been in.
But that was, hands down, maybe the most spectacular waterfall I've ever seen in my life. A lot of people don't even know about it.
And then just now hiking up to the crater of Mount St. Helens.
I'm just infatuated with volcanoes, and I think it's simply because there are few things in this world that showcase the raw power of nature.
On that note, maybe it's time for us to head down the mountain.
I'm ready.
All right.
And remember,
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.